Prices move faster than pay. Businesses can change shelf prices quickly, but payroll changes through budgets, contracts, and reviews. Concrete case. A grocery bill rises this month while an annual salary review is 8 months away. Timing explains why people feel squeezed. In a household budget, the pain appears when groceries and rent reset monthly while pay changes only after a review cycle. Wages are a cost to employers. Higher pay affects margins, staffing, and prices, so employers adjust carefully. Imagine a restaurant may raise menu prices before raising every wage. Pay depends on the business model, not only inflation. Businesses respond through hiring, prices, inventory, and investment plans. Workers with scarce skills or strong alternatives can negotiate faster increases. In practice, a nurse in shortage may get offers while a replaceable role waits. Labor market power changes outcomes. Look past the label and check. Compare wage reviews, overtime rules, company margins, and the prices workers face every week. Many jobs use annual pay cycles, union agreements, or fixed budgets. Think of a school employee may face higher rent long before the next approved salary step. Institutional timing can lag prices. The cause and the symptom no longer blur together. The pressure comes from wage reviews, employer margins, bargaining power, and purchasing power. Missing that link makes the outcome look random. Sustainable wage growth often needs more output per worker or higher value work. A worker using better tools can handle more orders per hour. Inflation alone does not create money for wages. Businesses respond through hiring, prices, inventory, and investment plans. For employers, raising wages may mean choosing between prices, margins, hiring plans, and the risk of losing trained staff. Businesses respond through hiring, prices, inventory, and investment plans. Some firms absorb costs, some raise prices, and some cut hours. Case. A small shop facing rent increases cannot automatically raise pay. Business conditions shape wage room. The warning sign is a small shop facing rent increases cannot automatically raise pay. When jobs are scarce, workers accept weaker raises because alternatives are limited. Case. During a slowdown, fear of job loss weakens negotiation. The wider labor market affects individual pay. The specific clue is a grocery bill rising months before salary review, which points back to wage reviews, employer margins, bargaining power, and purchasing power. Minimum wage is policy-based. Legal wage floors rise through political decisions, not automatically with every price change. Think of a city adjusts minimum wage years after living costs rise. Law can help but often lags reality. What makes the issue practical is market salary evidence and measurable output, not memorizing terminology. Real wages explain pain. Nominal pay may rise while purchasing power falls. Compare wages to living costs. Businesses respond through hiring, prices, inventory, and investment plans. You can spot it when a 4% raise feels weak when rent and food rise 9%. Businesses fear wage price loops. If wages and prices chase each other, inflation can become harder to cool. Imagine companies raise prices to cover wages, workers demand more because prices rose. Policymakers watch the spiral risk. The detail can be verified instead of guessed. Workers in high-demand fields can protect income better than workers in crowded roles. Picture. A software security expert has more leverage than a generic applicant. Skill scarcity can beat general inflation. The idea can be carried into a normal choice. A grocery bill rising months before salary review becomes a practical check. Job switching can reset pay. New offers sometimes adjust faster than internal raises. Concrete case. An employee gets 15% by moving while loyal coworkers get 3%. External markets can reveal true value. The facts matter more than the term. Compare wage reviews, overtime rules, company margins, and the prices workers face every week. If salary reviews keeps returning, the issue is no longer a single event, it has become a pattern worth addressing. Rent-heavy cities need higher pay just to maintain the same life. Common case. A worker moving from a cheaper town to a costly city feels poorer at the same salary. Cost of living is local. You can spot it when a worker moving from a cheaper town to a costly city feels poorer at the same salary. Understanding grocery bills helps separate the main issue from the noise around it. Households feel it monthly. Price increases hit every shopping trip while pay increases arrive rarely. Fuel, groceries, school fees, and rent do not wait for review season. Cash flow pain is immediate. The real engine is this. Prices can move daily while pay often waits for budgets, contracts, reviews, and company cash flow. Once rent renewals is visible, the next move can be smaller, calmer, and more accurate. Employers watch future demand. Raising wages permanently is risky if sales may fall next quarter. Common case. A retailer delays raises when customers are already buying less. Certainty affects payroll decisions. The term is secondary to evidence. Compare wage reviews, overtime rules, company margins, and the prices workers face every week. Workers make stronger cases with results, market salaries, and alternatives. In practice, showing revenue handled or certifications earned beats saying everything is expensive. Connect pay to value and market data. The pressure shows up when showing revenue handled or certifications earned beats saying everything is expensive. The wage problem is not only how much someone earns, it is how slowly pay updates compared with rent, food, transport, childcare, and debt payments. Policy cannot solve all gaps. Tax credits, wage laws, and inflation control each help differently. Picture. Lower inflation protects pay while wage support targets low earners. Different tools fix different problems. The clearest sign is lower inflation protects pay while wage support targets low earners. Employers may also worry that raising wages too quickly will lock in costs if demand later weakens. Wages and prices do not move together like two numbers on the same switch. Prices can adjust at the shelf while pay has to pass through budgets, contracts, skill shortages, and negotiation. The useful lesson is to watch purchasing power, not only salary. A raise can still feel weak if rent, food, transport, and debt payments are moving faster. A worker may feel poorer even with the same salary because groceries, rent, school fees, and transport have already repriced. A company can change shelf prices in days, but wages may wait for payroll cycles, annual reviews, union agreements, or budget approval. That delay is why a worker may feel poorer even before any official wage report looks alarming. Prices can move faster than paychecks because shelves, suppliers, contracts, and salary reviews do not change on the same clock. A grocery bill can rise in January while a salary review is not scheduled until June. That timing gap is why workers may feel poorer even before the official raise discussion begins. The pressure shows up in weekly spending first: food, fuel, transport, school fees, and rent renewals. A raise can arrive later and still fail to restore the old comfort if everyday costs moved sooner. That gap is why inflation can feel unfair even when wages eventually rise. The real pressure is the months when rent, food, and fuel climb before income catches up. Bills can adjust this month while wages move through reviews, contracts, negotiations, and business budgets much more slowly. The pressure is most visible in groceries, rent, fuel, school fees, and transport because those bills arrive before salary negotiations catch up.